Well, it has been 2 years since a Minneapolis police officer held his knee on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes, killing him. In that moment, Minneapolis became the epicenter of a movement for change. This morning, we're going to take some time to reflect on that moment in time. WCCO photojournalist Nick Luneman takes us to Eat Street. That's an area of Nicollet Avenue not far from where George Floyd breathed his last breath.
Being right here on Nicollet, on Eat Street, to me this is the most diverse street in the entire state.
It's the only neighborhood I really want to live in. I lived in Rome for 5 years in the 1990s. One thing that Minneapolis lacks is walkable neighborhoods, which is one reason I really don't want to lose this neighborhood. And this is the only neighborhood that reminds me of Rome. It's not like it looks like Rome, it doesn't look like Rome, but you have all small businesses, people you see every day.
Hey, how are you, friend?
Businesses are open.
I'm happy that you're here. I'll serve.
It's quiet, but busy. Peaceful.
There you go. I think they're just finishing that up shorter. Thanks, buddy. You can't have neighborhoods without characteristic businesses in a city.
Your tacos made me change everything, bro.
Thanks, my friend. I really appreciate you.
Hi there. And so that's what we're going to say, the street menu, which is boneless jerk chicken. Then you flip over to the yard menu, you get your bone-in jerk chicken.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, awesome. Cool. Well, enjoy. Yes.
And I was afraid that a lot of us weren't going to survive it. 507.
Say his name! George Floyd!
I think we heard something, but we didn't quite realize the impact until a few hours later. We were already closed by then. And then the next morning, there was our building was damaged. This store, which was a phone store, they got looted 4, 5, 6 times, something like that. Finally, they just closed it. They just gave up here. But in fact, I got to say, a lot of people on those marches, they came around, asked us how we were. Sometimes they would even help us clean. They'd clean outside. They'd come in and see if we needed anybody. I got to say, it was quite inspirational that people do care. They really do.
What have you seen so far of the people of the Twin Cities, and what does it tell you about the people that live here in this immediate area?
I like that there's a diverse group of people who want to clean up, who are handing out waters, passing out snacks, making sure everybody stays hydrated, stays good.
It was a terrible circumstance. The circumstance was not good, but it was a blessing that people around here came together.
I can't believe it's already been 2 years. It still feels like just a few months ago that we were all confused. I think it's the first feeling that we all had.
There was a lot of anger. There was a lot of uncertainty.
And we didn't know what was going to come next. I mean, maybe people wouldn't want to come to this neighborhood anymore. I don't know if George Floyd made them care more, care less, but they cared. They did care. They absolutely did care.
My father in New York said, watch this video. I'm like, if they're watching this in New York, I guess I got to check it out. And I allowed myself to watch it in my garage, and I just allowed myself to bawl. It changes any human's life. It should change any decent human's life forever.
Say his name! George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd!
The rest of the city was on fire. One could literally smell the city burning from all 4 corners. One could smell fire in this city. People were angry, people were upset, and then we'll drive around the city, and because it was COVID, the streets were empty. And then one shows up on Nicollet here, and there's a massive amount of people, a crowd here gathering. It was a clash of the titans waiting to happen. The people marching north on Nicollet, and the armed forces marching south. And all we could do was stand there and hand out water and hand out yogurt and hope that people could stay safe.
Riot packs too. They have to protect themselves.
That scary day, we had closed by that time because we were under curfew. And some employees were still committed to ensure that they could provide food and at least sort through food, donations, and ensure that we'd have the resources that our community needed. We didn't know that the protesting was going to start heading north.
Hard to tell who they are, what signs they're holding, but this crew here at Pimento, which is sort of guarding this community, is saying, everyone get in your places, get ready.
We just knew that we were caught in the middle of it. We were already doing good for our community, And one of the things that makes me feel good is knowing that our employees know that they too are part of our community. They are also neighbors. They're also citizens. And they saw that what we had, however small it was a way for them to help their fellow neighbors. And it makes me proud to know that our employees understand the culture and the culture that we need to have, not just as a business, but as a community. Ensuring that if it's even one loaf of bread, that it's enough to take care of each other. And we encourage our employees, we encourage the community to continue to step up, because if not us, then who, right? If not here, then where? And if not now, then when? There you go. And we continue to support and continue to encourage all of our employees, as well as our entire community, to continue showing up for each other and to continue to build that model city that we have here in the Twin Cities.
We got it. We're almost a block away from them. Launching their tear gas in our direction.
That day, remember, you can smell the tear gas from early on, because you can always smell the fire, the smokes, but you can always smell the tear gas throughout the city.
Yeah, no, that wind is carrying it.
It was certainly a war zone. And as somebody who's been in the developing world during times of upheaval, it reminded me so much of that day. All we could do was stand there and watch our neighbors who were in pain just air their rage, and to see the clash of the titans was a scary day, but at the same time, it was encouraging to see how many people were showing up to support each other.
Things are changing. But not quite right here yet.
It's seemed to change from more of like a commercial or a capital system to more of like a fellowship system.
One thing for sure is that we know that there's a lot more people going out and creating their own businesses. A lot more people going out and creating their businesses for change. They're seeing their business, whether it's a restaurant, being more than a restaurant.
Seeing the murals, it's good. It's like water for the eyes, you know, it's refreshing.
So a lot of the murals you see here literally were painted during the harshest times in our city's history. When our city was on fire, our artists were showing up and painting murals for healing themselves and for healing community. Slow motion! All we can do is try to show up for each other.
Thanks a million.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
And that's what we've been able to do here on 8th Street, to care for each other, whether it's healing. We call it street venue because we started on the streets here in Minneapolis, whether it's feeding. Brother man said, God gave you some tongues. That's right. That's the best way to do it. Or whether it's just holding space where we can have conversations about meaningful change. That's what it's all about. And that's why we love being the international neighborhood of the Twin Cities. And wait.
And it really does seem like a dream. It does seem like it never happened in sometimes.
Now we're done.
Thank you to our Nick Luneman for that powerful piece.